starts going a bit dodgy. You're not allowed to see the bread. Rolled the dice and it paid off.
Oh yeah.
Making our way now to the port of Bari because it's time to move on. So we're at the port, just collected the tickets. It was actually very simple, and now we're going to try to find out how to board. It's like no signage.
Gate closed. I'm not going down that first tunnel there, mate.
Just reversed onto a ferry. This is good because this means we'll be quick and easy out. Bed's in there. Oh. What delights have we got in here? The shower. So, we just made it off the ferry. Just about. It was randomly quite stressful trying to find where our van was parked. We remembered we were in C3. We could get down to deck 3, but we couldn't get to area C, and all of these HGV lorries are coming off and blocking the path, and we couldn't see if we were even in the right place, and we'd had to go up 2 floors to try and go along and come back down, and then we'd be in the wrong place again. It was really difficult to navigate our way out, but we made it out. We are in Albania. The sun is shining. Gonna go and explore. We've just arrived in Tirana, the capital. It's mayhem, the roads here, but it looks quite cool. I'm quite excited to go and explore. It took us a bit of an inordinate amount of time to get cash and insurance at the port, but we did it. And actually in the ferry terminal there as well, you can go in. There are 2 mobile phone providers, so because this is outside of the EU, we can't do EU roaming, so we went and bought a couple of SIMs, so that's already sorted as well. So far so good. Alright guys, come on in. Me. We did the important thing of stopping at a coffee shop, having some coffee and pastries to sustain us, and now we're just walking through the middle of the city on our way to a museum. Really liking the city so far. We're in this park, as you can see, this big, some sort of monument or thing behind us. We're going to find out what that is. It's very clean, it's very sunny, it's very hot. Everybody else is wearing trousers, like everybody local. We're in shorts and really sweating. What's this monument?
It doesn't say.
It's got all these signatures on it though. It must be something.
Google is none the wiser. This is a perfect example of East meets West. You've got all of these.
KFC.
You've got all of these, atheists, agnostic, Christians, all the rest of it. And you've got a square full of Muslim prayer.
It's kind of cool.
So yeah, it's cool. We're in a bunker to come to a museum of the communist regime here in Albania. So this is a hand-cranked battery, so you crank it, it will generate voltage and it will power their radios for emergencies. 60s in a nuclear bunker.
I feel like I'm in Lost or something. Press in the numbers, press the numbers in. Waking up in this idyllic spot overlooking this lake and these vineyards after the hustle and bustle of the city and all of the travel the day before was just absolutely balm for the soul. I mean, look at these views, and actually just being here got me even more excited for our farm and homestead and settling down there. I love
going to different countries and seeing what they're growing, seeing what livestock they're raising. And here you can hear animals in the background. We can see them growing grapes and pomegranates and all sorts of things. And it was just so delightful and made me really excited for our future farm.
Lunch. All right. I know. We've had kind of a chill day, also kind of a life admin day today. Got some laundry done, washed the bedding, clean bedding day, love that. And we are walking now up the little lane from the campsite to the shop. We're going to see what's what there, and I think there's a little cafe or restaurant, so we're going to go and check them out. It's quite a interesting little shop. The bread was, we went in, we specifically wanted bread, and it was like hidden in this cupboard that just said bread on it. You're not allowed to see the bread. You may ask for the bread and then receive the bread, cannot see it first. So that just kind of tickled us a little bit. We didn't walk all the way to the shop, we were only part of the way there, and the little local taxi driver, this young guy, just said, "Where are you going?" We were like, "To the shop," and he said, "Oh, I'm going past, just get in." And he was really funny, really chatty, and so that was nice. And now we're just walking back a different way next to the lake.
There was so much that we're still excited to see in Albania, so much it still had to offer. So after a peaceful few days here in the countryside, outside of the capital, doesn't really feel like it's near the capital, does it? And yet it is.
There's one more.
We headed off, and en route we stopped at this delightful restaurant and had just a really lovely and also kind of funny time.
We've got some fresh pomegranate juice. Have we ever had fresh pomegranate juice before, have we?
No. Oh yeah. Wow, that is epic.
It's like they got a pomegranate and squeezed it and just collected the juice. To pack the pomegranate. It's really tart. My whole face just waiting to be able to eat. So our waiter was just telling us that everything here is from their farm, so those juices are picked fresh from here, and the food we're about to eat is fresh from their farm as well. This is really good narration. It's fresh from their farm, so in summer it's fresh from their farm. Tastes so farm fresh.
So tell us how fresh it is.
It's pretty fresh. Do you know where it came from?
Fresh from the farm.
From their farm, yeah. We're just driving into Berat, which is our next destination. I think it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is cool. There's lots of Ottoman architecture there. Looking forward to seeing that. I think the plan is to stay for at least a good few days, maybe up to a week. Just pulled in at the campsite that we're planning on staying at, but it's it's quite small, which is fine, and there's only really one proper space, but because of the size of the spaces and how people are parked, we wouldn't actually be able to put our awning out and really kind of sit next to the van at all, a little bit tight. They had another space in a kind of random other area where there was no one else, but I think it was near the dump area, like, you know, you dump your grey water and stuff. So we're going to go and roll the dice and see if we can find something better rather than commit to that. Rolled the dice and it paid off. We just found the best little park up, so we're right near the centre of town. There's just a short walk through a pedestrianised area into the kind of old town. A really lovely little, basically family home. They've got kind of space for probably only 4 or 5 campers here. But look, there's these pomegranate trees all behind us, and they said, help yourself. They've already got Ava started with some straight off the tree. Absolutely beautiful. They said they're going to make us breakfast in the morning. There's nobody else staying here. Right next to us, we have our own little block with shower, toilet and washing machine, which is good because we're still behind on laundry. So sometimes it's absolutely worth rolling the dice.
Dreams are made of.
Oh, indeed, pomegranate dreams.
That's a cute name for a horse. Pomegranate.
Kayvan's living his best life. This is you living the dreams. You absolutely adore pomegranates, and we're staying basically in a pomegranate bush. Oh, good catch. He nearly lost his Ray-Bans in the pursuit of pomegranate.
Best way to lose him.
We just went for a really lovely stroll through town, through the pedestrianised area to like the main square. It was perfect timing because everything was just starting to light up as it was getting to evening, and they've also got a wine festival happening, so there was some live music, which was cool. We didn't actually partake in any of the wine because we got quite a bit of Albanian wine that we acquired at the last campsite that we stayed at. So this is Rita's wine. It's very good. I don't know if you're into your wines, but we really like a nice red, and it's got a kind of smells like a bit of like a tobacco smell in a good way, not like a horrible cigarette way, you know what I mean. Then like raspberry, those are the kind of like top notes with it. It's really quite surprising and quite delicious, so we're gonna have some of that. I'm making in here some sourdough flatbreads. I have not, Kayvan is breaking the barbecue by the sound of things outside. I have not been very successful with my starter and sourdough on this trip so far. I normally love baking sourdough. I just can't quite fit the rhythm of sourdough into our constantly moving and shifting schedule and plans. And then on top of that, where it's been so warm for so long, we've only had less than a handful of days where the weather's not been really warm, and I'm finding it difficult to manage my sourdough starter. Let me know in the comments if you use a sourdough starter and you live in a hot country. How do you deal with it? Because I'm used to just leaving it out on the side, use it, top it up, leave it out. I only put it in the fridge normally if I know I'm definitely not going to use it for quite a few days, and it's quite happy. But obviously that's in the UK with quite a cooler climate. Here, if I leave it out for a couple of days, it starts going a bit dodgy. And those of you who use sourdough starters will know what I mean. So if anyone's got any advice, let me know in the comments, please, because I really want to figure this out. I'm missing making my own bread. I like buying the bread from the local bakeries, but I do miss the kind of ritual of it. Albania. Morning. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really good. We're sitting next to a fridge, literally just oranges in it, and Nico came and got a load of them and then just brought back this for us. Yeah. Delightful pickled vegetable. We're not entirely sure what it is. It's kind of a cross between an aubergine and a courgette. It's stuffed with like garlic and herbs and peppers and chilies and things. We've got some bread. I think this is homemade butter. It's delicious. We've got some jams, feta, and then these things, they're called, what did you say they're called, Steve? Petula. And they're basically like fried dough, like kind of donuts. Apparently you can have them sweet or savoury, so I'm going to have one with some feta, and then I'm going to have one with some jam.
He was an anti-fascist and hero of Albania during World War II, and her brutal death inspired many to join the resistance against fascism in Albania.
Something that just hasn't gotten old yet for me on this trip, and we're several months in now, is the privilege that it is to be spending this much time together as a family, to be off on adventures, exploring places. Look at these views we get to experience together, immersing ourselves in a new place, a new culture, sampling a country's delights, mostly food. For us, it's just so wonderful, and I know this is going to be a time that I look back out on and treasure so highly.
Hello mate, is that yummy?
Hello.
Your little face. Next on the agenda, ice cream, mandatory. We are driving out of Berat now. We've been there for 5 nights. We really liked it. It was a great place to have a little base for a few days. So I had a couple of work days while we were there, and we just really enjoyed it. We've in fact stopped on our way out of town, specifically just to get some iced coffees because they're so excellent. And stopped at our favourite little bakery, which does like tasty pastries and really good sourdough bread, which is nice to find because we were struggling to find that. And now we're heading out of town. Oh, sheep on a building site. That's interesting. But first impressions, what do you think? First impressions of Albania, van life Albania specifically?
Well, the hosts that we've come across have been very friendly,
Yeah.
very smiley.
Yeah, really warm,
very
really welcoming.
accommodating.
Yeah, in fact today, so we've been staying at Nico's place in his pomegranate grove, essentially, for the last 5 nights. When we went to pay him and say goodbye this morning, he took our daughter over and insisted that we picked like the biggest, ripest pomegranates. They're literally the size of her head. Oh, there we go, she's holding it up. Just really lovely, and he's like given us some oranges and a glass of raki and a glass of his homemade wine while we've been there. And this morning he brought out patella, which are those breakfast like frittery donut things that we're all obsessed with. Delicious patella. I'm having one with feta, one with jam. It's really funny because last night we were all talking about how much we were craving them actually, weren't we? I think you manifested them, didn't you? It's just, you know, because he's nice. It was really, really good. So yeah, we found it to be quite a warm welcome so far, and there was a restaurant in Berat along the river that had really great home cooked food. It's like a family run restaurant. We were chatting with them last night. It's the second time we've been there. They were super friendly. They gave us a bottle of their homemade raki and we bought some of their homemade wine. So yeah, first impressions of Albania thus far, great. Really good food, like nice kind of home cooked type of food, excellent coffees and cafe culture, friendly people, really pretty architecture in Berat. So it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and has all of the Ottoman architecture, and I think it's a medieval old town there. So very lovely and all lit up at night. I really like as well, they have a custom here of similar to the Italians with the passeggiata, with the walk in the evening, except it's called, I think, a zero. I might be mispronouncing that here. And there's a really nice pedestrianised, really quite long pedestrianised street that runs through the middle of Berat. And every evening, all the families are out having a stroll and chatting and buying barbecued corn on the cob and going to the cafes and things, and it's just really lovely. So yeah, it has a nice feel to it so far, and van life has been easy here thus far. So far so good. And I'm going to wrap up this video for now, so wherever you are, go and live your dream life. Bye for now.